Hey there, I'm Will, and I've been doing what I love to do, but not in the way I should. I'm not the first, and certainly not the last teenage YouTuber who is entirely consumed with the idea of being famous. I was fortunate enough to gain a strong following by doing things like joining a collaboration channel, and being invited as a special guest to a Mac on tour, and being invited to be a part of a whole new tour called Press Play. All of these opportunities helped me gain an audience, but made me blind to the reason why I started making videos. I want to create, influence, travel, inspire, and change the world! But going to these events and seeing all the screaming viewers made me ignorant and self-absorbed. They weren't all screaming for me, but I had made it my mission to make sure they were in the future. While on tour with Press Play, I was too concerned with my own personal growth than anything else. I began to overstep my boundaries and ask all the bigger YouTubers to help me grow and give me shoutouts. At first, it really started to work. I started to gain followers quickly on all of my various social medias. For example, I convinced this one really popular Viner to revine something I had made. In 2 hours, I had gained 3,000 followers. With these kinds of gains from getting shoutouts from these other social media personalities, I got addicted to the growth and the idea of being able to have a huge fan base. I was doing it. I was growing. I was accomplishing my mission to become famous. Or so I thought. Eventually, I had overstepped my boundaries for too long. I was in New York for a Press Play event when the manager told me he was going to give me a break from the tour, which just meant I was being kicked off. I was frustrated and angry because he was taking away my source of publicity. He was separating me from the YouTubers I now realize I had been taking for granted. The manager told me it would only be a 2-month break and then I'd be back on tour traveling with the group. 2 months passed and nothing happened. Then 3, 4, 5, 6 months later, it finally dawned on me I was never going to be a part of Press Play again. From there, it was all downhill. Since I gained a majority of my audience by being around these other YouTubers, I started to lose followers and subscribers because I was no longer associated with them. My viewers became incredibly inactive, along with my Twitter, Instagram, and Vine followers. However, this decline in activity didn't stop me from trying to continue to take over the spotlight. With clickbait, thumbnails, and scandalous Instagram pictures, unnecessarily relatable videos, and retweet for cute DM posts on Twitter, I was trying to maintain my silly idea of fame. Spoiler alert, it did not work. Views kept declining, interaction became exponentially lower, and I was losing followers every day. And because of this, I started to lose interest in YouTube because it was becoming very obvious I wasn't turning into the internet superstar I wanted to be. I've almost quit so many times. I couldn't grasp the idea that maybe YouTube wasn't meant for me. But now, it's time to change this. The drive I started YouTube with to be a creator, and to inspire, and to travel, and influence, has come back. I'm in college now, and it's time I start taking the initiative to make myself and everything I do better. I got an internship as a filmmaker to make videos to promote sexual and racial equality on my campus. I became a sales rep for my favorite clothing brand who gives back to charities and amazing organizations. I'm finally doing stuff that makes me feel like I'm making a difference, and it's time I start to do that with YouTube. I wish it had not taken me this long to realize I should be making stuff and great content regardless of how many views and likes it would get. However, it's always better late than never. It's time for some change. Lastly, I want to say to the people who have stuck with me, and to the people who will stick with me, I cannot thank you enough. And with all of this being said, let's start doing YouTube right. Let's be different.